There you are.
Welcome to Team Call. Always excited to see you all. I want to do a couple shout outs. Before I do the official shout outs, I just want to say congratulations to Sarah Spencer, who had a killer month and was in the top 10 of our team and is inching very close to diamond. So I just wanted to give you an extra shout out. It's Team Cup month, and I know I see a lot of faces on here who are captains of their teams, so make sure you are checking in on your teams and really keeping the momentum and the hype in there as a captain. I think that is crucial. Okay, let me pull up the recognition boards. So July was a record month, you guys, which is so impressive. And I'm not just talking like record of COVID. I'm talking record of our team. So considering these crazy times we're living in, major kudos. I'm very proud of you girls. So let's hit it. Shoot, where did it go? Disappeared. Oh, one more thing. Megan is officially in the pilot program. And where'd you go? You were just here. There you are. I'd love to hear before I do recognition if you have anything special to share with us. If not, don't want to put you on the spot, but I basically just did. We're just really excited for you that you get to be in that group and you're rocking it out. And Danny also is in that group. So if either of you have anything to share real quick, we'd love to hear it.
The wrong pilot group, Andy. Megan got the control freak.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The next one. No, that's okay. Danny and Sarah and Brittany and who am I forgetting? Is that it, Danny? Are in the running group.
Sorry, I messed that up.
Oh, there she is. Why am I having? How is it going? Are you guys still dying?
I'm not dying. I actually really like it.
You like it?
Yeah. I think I never was a big runner to begin with, but it's really good to build up to. There's a lot of growth available, I think. I was just talking in our other team call about it. But basically there's a workout. There's quite a few rest days, which is hard to get used to, but after running, you need it for sure. But other running type workouts I've done before, I like it because she talks you through it. She motivates you. I'm a numbers person, so I like it when she's like halfway through this interval. We've done some build-up runs, so like 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 30, like 60, like yeah, things like that, dynamic running. And then there's a rollout rest day, which is kind of cool because I've never really rolled my muscles out, but I could tell I needed it. So I definitely feel the.
Are the lifting days still kind of crazy, or are they?
The first week, I think it was just the recordings were hard. There was a lot of editing that needed to be done, and
Got it.
thanks. But this week was much smoother.
Awesome. Thank you. Megan, yes. And I apologize for messing that up.
No, I just wanted to say thank you to all the women in this group, especially the ones that kind of know. The last couple of days have been very, very scary. I had a health scare, and I really leaned into our group and got a lot of support, but I had to go have a mammogram and an ultrasound done today, but they all came back great. So I don't have breast cancer, but I mean, like, I didn't tell a lot of the people in my own personal life, but like leaning on this group and getting just support and everything, I really, really appreciate it. So I can focus on just healing my side and keep moving forward.
What did they say it was? You just was it like a pulled muscle or something, or?
That's what they're thinking, but like where it was located, it was just really
Weird.
It was just a really scary moment. Like I've never felt anything like that before in my life, and it just kept getting worse and worse. Today was actually probably the first day where it didn't bother me as much, but it was just nice. There was up until about 2:30 today, there was that moment where it could have been in the back of your mind that it could be something even more severe than what you're hoping for. So it was just nice. Like I said, I got a lot of support in the Burn It Up group. So I just appreciate you ladies so much. So thank you.
So happy to hear that it's behind you and okay. All right. So, like I said, July was record breaking. We had, as a team, 479 Success Club points. So, you all should be so proud. And it makes me want to push for like 600 this month. So, let's do it. But at the tippy top, Kim, 39 points. Congratulations. We have more than I think ever with more than 10 points. Shayna, Anna Schaefer, Lauren, whoop-de-whoop, new coach, just crushing it. Cece, Julie Weldy, Cassie Smith, good job. Anna Lawhorn, Liz Rush, Sarah Spencer, Courtney Kendall, Danny Schofield, Kendra Burkett, and Lindsay Clark. So congratulations to everybody who had more than 10 points. And then we also had a large number of people with at least 5 points. Where are we? Holly, Amanda Leff, Rihanna, whoop, 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 Crystal, Megan, Cassie, Mandy, good job, April, Joelle, Taylor Burry, Alyssa, Lisa, and Kathleen. So congratulations, girls. I'm really proud of you all for really just stepping up. And I know that with a launch month, it helps a little bit. You can continue that momentum into this month. I always say with a launch, of course, the hype and the actual month that it comes out is crazy, wild, and great, but it's up to you as a business owner to continue that momentum and make the next month and the next month stay just as high. And one thing that I've seen as a trend over the years is that a lot of times, specifically with newer coaches, but it can happen to all of us, is you have a really great month and you kind of come off that high, and it's easy to kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit because you kind of come into this false feeling of like, oh, this next month's going to be easy. So I just want to caution you, and I don't say that to like be negative at all, but I just want to caution you that that's not how this works. So keep the pedal to the metal, continue to invite, continue to get the word out. I know for me, I'm running into more no's this month than last month based on circumstances of, once again, this world that we're living in. But don't let that be a stopping point for you for what you decide to do forward, because we all know that there's so many people out there who need this. And don't be afraid of being that broken record of sharing your story. We're going to talk tonight about social media. I'm really excited because it's been a hot minute since we've had an entire call about the latest and greatest with social media. And it's also something that we really want to talk more about more frequently in the team page. So if you ever have questions about social media, or if you have extra time in your power hour and you decide to spend a little bit of it on researching social media trends, which is always something we should all be doing here and there, then always feel free to share what you learn, because sometimes there's just that little tip or that little tweak, or I heard this is going on with the algorithm that we can all benefit from. So I just want to encourage you guys to always be looking for that, looking for the trends, and sharing with the team. So I'm going to start off with talking of kind of broad social media, but also specifically Facebook. And then Kim's going to share some Instagram tips. So Facebook, the research that I've done, still remains the leader of social media, which I was shocked to learn that statistic. And I went and Googled it in a couple places, and apparently that's the truth. I don't know about you, but I thought for sure it would have been Instagram. The only reason I'm sharing that is because when I was watching some YouTube videos and I learned that, I was like, no way, it can't be. But it got me thinking, there's been times in my business where I started way on Facebook. My entire business was on Facebook, and then I kind of shied away from it and was spending more time on Instagram. But at the end of the day, I want to strongly encourage you to use both. And especially right now, because social media and running a business here is all about getting people to like you, know you, and trust you. And honestly, Facebook, because you are friending people, it feels more personal, and it always has. And I kind of feel like it always will in a way. And even though the biggest difference to me, just with sheer numbers of your reach on Facebook, is different there. You can only have 5,000 friends versus Instagram, where you have an infinite amount of people you can reach. You still have up to 5,000 people that you could become friends with on Facebook. And with a public account, your post can reach beyond that. As we know, they're friends of friends and so on. So don't discredit your Facebook. If you haven't been using Facebook, but you have a Facebook, now's the time to post there. I'll be honest, I know that there's a lot of coaches who create different content for each platform, and I've never done that. I know that content is key here. So even coming up with 1 to 2 quality posts a day is a lot. So trying to think of what would be different on each platform has never been my jam. And the way that I've always looked at it is I have the same message on both platforms. I'm not going to try to change it or tweak it. So what I would encourage you guys to do is don't consider it extra work. Post to both. And the only thing that I don't really share on Facebook is if I do a quote. I don't know why. If I put up a black and white post or quote post, for whatever reason, I just don't really share those to Facebook. They never really do well there. But every other thing I share there. And I know that the other thing that comes up with Facebook is because it seems more personal. A lot of times I have a hard time getting new coaches to want to post there because it's more personal, because it kind of leads you back to the question of like, should I create a separate page? And my answer will always be no. Don't create a different page, because you're trying to get people to like you, know you, and trust you. And on Facebook, you already have typically 2 of the 3 down. People already like you and know you, and they're now learning to trust you from this standpoint of using something, putting it into play in your life that's worked for you, and that's where the trust will come in, that they'll use it. So don't discount Facebook. Definitely be posting there. A couple more tips specifically for Facebook are, don't say drop an emoji. And I'm guilty of this. So this is something that I learned today. When you are trying to fish for that engagement in that way, for that, drop an emoji if, or drop a 1 if, or whatever, which I feel like so many of my posts say, so I'm going to stop saying that. Facebook, all their algorithm automatically doesn't want your post to be seen. What they want is engaging comments, people who write really meaty comments under your post where it's engaging conversation. So another thing that I'm guilty, and I'm just going to call myself out as the example, is a lot of times when I comment back, I'm commenting back, thank you, or I'm commenting back just a heart, or so trying to be more thought-provoking to really engage the conversation there. And that ties into the other tip, which we've all always known, but just something that I want to put kind of as homework this week as you're writing your post, is making the post engaging, whether it's with a question that goes beyond like a yes or no answer, a question that's going to provoke some sort of opinion, which is kind of scary right now. So be careful what opinions you're asking for based on, what sort of post you're talking about. Because what you don't want to do, in my opinion, is post anything that's going to be super polarizing. And right now that's, there's a lot of, in my opinion, hands-off topics that I won't touch on social media, but there's also so many things that you can talk about that can create very engaging threads. So this is where you kind of go back to the 5-ish things that make you, that you're interested in. Keep it positive, keep it light-hearted, but that will get people engaging. Even some of the posts that do so well for so many people are when you're doing some sort of project, or you're taking on some new whatever, and you're engaging people in opinions there, even if you've already made up your decision. People want to share their opinions. So definitely use that on Facebook. Get people talking longer in their comments, and make sure that you take the time, which is not always easy, but work it into your power, where you're engaging a good quality comment back. Remember that content, the quality of it is key. And one last thing about Facebook, I don't see any of you really doing this, but just to put it out there, don't ever put links, like even if you're sharing a YouTube link on Facebook that you think, and I've done this before, like a funny video, and I think, oh, this is funny, like I'll share this. If you post the actual link, then Facebook isn't going to show it to very many people in the algorithm, because it's going to pull their audience to another platform. So that is why posting to Instagram and having it set up to go directly to Facebook isn't what they want you doing either. They want you to post directly to the platform. So make sure you're doing that. I know it takes an extra 30 seconds to do. I know it's a lot easier to just do it once and be done, but take the time to copy and paste and directly post it to the 2 platforms, because it'll serve you better in the algorithm. Before we move on to Instagram, does anybody have any specific Facebook questions that I could maybe answer?
I have a question.
Okay.
Hold on one second. My husband's blasting music. Can y'all hear me?
Mhm.
So my question is, Kim talked about, I don't know, a month or so ago about how she goes in on Facebook and like she had like separate, I don't know what you call them, but like groups where like when you were posting on your commenting or sending messages out for like your birthday people, or kind of like separating who you've contacted and who you've do you know what I'm talking about without me having to keep going on and on?
Yes. Are you talking about the prospective client list?
Yes, I have not been able yet to figure out how to do that.
Okay, so let's just do a quick screen share because it'll just be that much easier here.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are on Facebook. See Facebook? Yes. Is that what you
Yes.
did? Okay, so when you go into, I go to events, so I do this every day. And then I would go down and I would go to, and I do it for my computer. I don't do it for my phone. You could, but I just work for my computer always. So I go to the events where here's all the people's birthdays. So today, for example, today is, what day is today? Tuesday, right?
Tuesday.
Who am I? Okay, here we go. Okay, so like today, so tomorrow is Wednesday. So I sent all of these people, here's Wednesday. Some of these people are already coaches or on our team, but I sent them this message. Happy birthday. How are you hanging in there? Do you have any fun plans for your big day? Are you able to get out? Don't do any dishes, blah, blah. So I send this message to basically everybody whose birthday is tomorrow, which honestly has been one of the best ways to initiate conversation. And then when I do that, I make sure that they are a part of my prospective client list. So the way you do that is you go to this little drop down triangle here and you go to add to another list. And if it looks like this, so you'll first get this, you say add to another list, and then you can scroll down. I have it as prospective client list. See, I forgot to do that. Now there's the prospective client list. So when you go to, move this out of the way here. When you go to your list, and your lists are over here under Explore, you can go to your friend lists and you can go to prospective clients. Now, if I were to engage on Facebook, I could just engage on this feed. This feed is engaging with people who I think would be great clients, great coaches, whatever. So I have 1,300 people in this list. You could go through your own Facebook group and or face all your friends if you wanted. And you could add them all to and add them all to your prospective client list. And then if you ever just want to scroll social media as a means to grow your business, this would be a great feed to scroll through because you're doing productive posting. So I know if I post on, people, like I know this girl, she hasn't signed up yet. So this would be a great place for me to kind of love on some people's posts because they're all people that are prospective client lists. And then you can go to see all, and it's going to show me all of them. And this is what I use daily to send invites to. It's probably not going to pop up, but I think it's right here. So it looks like this. So I go through and then I hop over to my messenger and I grab my invite for the day and I'll just send the invite and I'll probably do like 5 lines. So I'll do like 25 people in this specific group. And if you notice, and I've like hit them up a lot, then I will take them off. I will unfriend, I know this sounds terrible, but I'll unfriend them and then I'll take them off this list so that I don't keep stalking them. Does that make sense? Is that easy to?
Yeah, that's very helpful. I watched you, you talked about it before and I went in and I dug and I was like not figuring out how to do it. So that that was very helpful. Thank you.
It really does save a ton of time in your power hour because you can blast through 25 of those really quick. And the only reason, I mean, you could go through your whole friend list, but I find that if you just go do it on the birthdays and you're slowly adding everybody to the list, you know, one at a time or whatever.
And how many times do you let them tell you no before you just kind of get rid of it?
I mean,
Get rid of them.
if
Unfriend them.
they've never responded. So let's say I sent them the first message and there's like, and I look up and there's literally, it's just me. If I'm going to do it for the 6th time, I remove them.
Gotcha. Okay.
But then, you know, what's funny is but if they broke up one time, so let's say it's like me, and they said, yeah, I'd love to hear more. Then they're going to hear me, and I restart. So it's like, they're not going to get rid of me because I can't tell you how many of those people turn into clients or coaches. I would say it's more than any other. That's probably where I sell the majority of my people. And it's like, most people will be like, I'm so sorry I ignored you for so long. And I'm like, I mean, I was literally sent you 5. That's a lot of messages. And I also don't do it monthly. So like if it says like January, February, March, April, May, June, like I'm not going to hit them up, but I would say mine are from like 2016, 2018, 2019, but it also takes me a long time to get through 1,300 people over and over and over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you, Kim.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. I need some time savers for sure.
That is a time saver for sure.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Any other Facebook questions?
Okay, I have a quick question for all of you before we move on to Instagram. Who's not utilizing their Facebook out of fear? Putting y'all on the spot right now. Because there's people on there that you work with or that you are afraid of or that you worry about. Anybody?
I've noticed that when I first started doing this business, I did it from Facebook because I didn't have Instagram really. Well, I did, but like it was both new. But when I do engage people on Facebook, which I don't really like Facebook, I don't go to it for anything at all besides if I have a group in there. Like I don't go on there to scroll or to look for things like I do Instagram. But I've noticed that when I do go on there and put up a post, I get a completely different demographic of people responding, which I'm like, okay, just completely different. They're an older crowd. My people on Facebook are people who've known me my whole life, an older crowd, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't need any of this. I just don't think about it like that. So I've been trying to put my posts, link them so that when I put on Instagram, goes directly to Facebook. But I remember in the beginning that was something that we weren't supposed to do because it didn't get seen. I don't know if that's changed, if we can link it or.
I would not link it and I would just post to both. Here's the other way to look at it. If you're living this truth and you believe in this wholeheartedly, even if the demographics and the your audience is completely different and on Facebook it scares you because it's people you actually know in real life, what do you have to lose by sharing your truth and what you believe in? So if you're not sharing on Facebook, I'm challenging you this week to cut it out and share on Facebook. You know, there was a time when that's all we had and it worked really well. And there's a reason for it. It's because people already like you and know you on your Facebook. And people just as easy as Instagram can choose to unfriend you. I'm sure I've been unfriended more times than I even know. And the ones that I found out, yes, it stings for a minute, but you know what? It's not a reflection of me. So you move on.
Like all of my signups have been from Facebook. I don't get very much like response to my like polls on Instagram or my invites on Instagram, but also on Facebook, you can like start the algorithm of friend adding. And if you start adding suggested friends, Facebook will suggest you to many people. And then when they start adding you and you accept their friend invites, it goes exponentially. Like I probably have 100 friend requests a day. So those are like 100 people that I add. And then the next day I invite and then you move on. So it's like, it's crazy how quick it happens. It happens really fast too. really fast.
Why do you get all the invites? Sorry, I missed that. Because you,
So people, like, if I click on a couple of random like friend suggestions, or if somebody invites, like, it friends me or whatever, and I accept it and I don't know them, and then I accept a couple of more, maybe that I don't know, it starts like an exponential algorithm, and Facebook puts you in their feed as somebody you should friend, and it shows that you have mutual friends. So then people start adding you and adding you and adding you and adding you, and I probably have like 50 to 100 new friend requests like every day.
That's
It's like,
amazing. Okay, top tip of the night. Thank you. Didn't know that.
yeah, it's like a crazy, I don't know how it started. Like, I did it one day on accident, or maybe I like just thought, oh, like maybe this will help me expand my network. And I like did it a few times. And then I was standing next to my computer and my best friend came over and she was like, what is happening on your computer? And I was like, I don't know. I was getting hundreds of friend requests. Like, I had more than I could respond to. It was insane.
and are
So
they, are they good people?
a lot of them, because they're like, oh, you're a suggested friend and adding you, they're also growing their market. But a lot of them are like paparazzi jewelry, or like, you know, it's like, and occasionally they're just like random people. And some of them are like, yeah, I'll try your free group, or like, yeah, I mean, tell me more. Like, they're engaging because they're selling something too. And it actually ends up being that most of the time they're not Beachbody coaches. Every once in a while I get one, and one of them will call you out and be really mean to you. I've had some mean Beachbody coaches respond to me. But I mean, for the most part, it's been like, I mean, just people that are also selling stuff or in health and wellness and want to hear what you're doing too. And I mean, it can't hurt, you know.
Yeah, totally.
But it does, it's like a crazy algorithm, and it happens really fast, and it hasn't stopped. So like, I'll add as many as I can like each day, and then the next day I'll invite them, and then I really need to go back through and like start waxing people, because I'm getting so many friend requests. It's crazy.
I just added you as a friend, Cassie. It suggested you to me.
See?
Yes, sir.
I bet I'm like,
oh, look, Cassie, sure, request. So you better accept it, is all I'm saying.
I mean, I'll think about it. But it's crazy. I don't even know like what I did. I think I just accepted a couple of suggested friends that I didn't know.
That interesting.
Or people, like, it'll suggest people that you don't know, and you just send an invite and see if they'll accept it. And then as soon as you send a few, it'll just start going crazy. And then I never run out of people to invite, ever. And it's not my warm market. It's like people I don't really know or care if they are mean to me. So I just keep sending them.
They're mean to me.
Gold.
You know what I noticed? I just want to share this because on Facebook, I've never went on live on Facebook. So I went on live today and made dinner, and 102 people viewed it.
Yeah.
On Instagram, I probably did the same thing showing how I make pizza maybe 4 months ago, and 102 people seen it. So just within an hour, 102 people. And I got comments on it a lot more on Facebook. So for me, I was just like, oh, I think I'm going to go on live more on Facebook because I'm so used to Instagram.
Totally. Your personal page is gold because those are the people, and Facebook's going to know that if you're going to go live. And then remember to save those. And I was going to talk about this, but save any live video, and then you can upload it as an IGTV. And that's a good thing to use right now. Instagram wants you to be using their IGTV in a big way. So just as a side note, also with Instagram, just another little peek, when you do videos in your main on your main post, a view counts when it's only 3 seconds long. So as long as someone watches it for 3 seconds, that counts as a view. So just so you know, if you can capture people right out of the gate, maybe you're doing something crazy right in the, the very first thing, that's going to count as a view. And of course, the more views you have, the more they're going to put you in your Explorer page. So just as a little heads up. Okay, so Instagram. Okay, so I learned something that I've known for a really long time, and I just ignore it because I'm product of routine, and it's really hard for me to do something that's worked but apparently doesn't work anymore. And I don't say this to you to change up your world. I just, in the 2020 algorithm of Instagram, posting more than 2 to 3 times, they really want you to post like once a day. And they believe in quality over quantity always. So if you, I'm a 3 poster a day. Well, I'm a 2 poster plus a live a day. That's just what I've always done. I'm not going to get as much views on any kind of post that I put up that way. They want you to have really quality content. And what I heard today, which I actually really loved, was be the queen of consistency and content is the king. So they don't care, as long as you post once a day, then you need to always post once a day. It doesn't matter if you what time, but you need to learn your audience. So if you are in a business account, how many of you use a business or a personal on Instagram? Business?
Personal.
Personal. So wait, personal or business? I missed that. Okay, so business account is going to give you some insights on your followers. It's worth it to switch over, even if it switches back. According to the gal I was watching today, the curator account doesn't have as many perks as the business and the personal account. Is that what it's called? Curator or creative? Or I think it's curator, right?
Thought it was like creative.
It's a creator.
So if you're really better off using the business or a personal account, but the business is going to tell you when the majority of your followers are on. So you want to be posting when the majority of your followers on. And that's a really easy, you just go to view insights and it's going to tell you this is the time of day you should be posting. But the key was consistency. So the minute you fall off, it's like you go back in the algorithm. But if you stay consistently posting once a day, and your followers can begin to go to your page for quality, not quantity, because they're going to know, like, man, every post she's putting up is like money. That's what they want to see, and that's what's going to keep you in your algorithm. So for the last 3 days since I learned this little tip, I've only posted twice, and it's very hard it's like a trip. I can't even explain for someone who's posted 3 times a day for this last 5.5 years. It feels weird to not post, but the reality is apparently I shouldn't be. And so I'm trying to be diligent, and I'm trying to make sure I don't. And then any questions about that or comments about posting?
I have a question. So just to kind of confirm, so I have a personal Instagram, so I should go in there and change it to creator?
No, that's creator. Creator is not the one. Use business or personal.
If you switch to a business account, though, just know that it's going to unlink your Facebook.
Okay.
It will
But
automatically.
stories won't get uploaded?
You literally have to go in and do it manually all day.
So I do it manually all day.
I didn't know that was true. My husband heard Andy say that you need to directly post. And he was telling me, because he works with affiliate marketers all the time as part of his business. And he was like, that's an affiliate marketer, like technique. And that's why Facebook doesn't want you to do it.
So CC still gets insights on creator. So if you
I do too. Yeah.
If you get your insights, and creator lets you keep your regular Facebook page, correct?
I mean, you could do like your Instagram stories. You could link your stories automatically. I am on. Oh, go ask your dad. Go ask your dad. You can, sorry, I'm done with these children today. But if you link your Instagram stories to your Facebook, that's easy. But then you could unclick the option to post your posts automatically, and then you could copy and paste your posts. That way they're like
you're using both
original. Yeah. But then your stories you don't have to copy and paste your stories, which I felt like was a nightmare when I was in a business account. So
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
If you run a business page, it obviously it works for you because then your stories are going to your business page on Facebook. But if you don't, and I obviously want my business page to have stories, so I leave that. So I'm good with that. But then I take it over to my personal page and I do upload all the stories, and it is a pain in the butt. But I get more people that way than I do even on any of my other stories. So it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I don't know what the right answer is there. But I will say, I think if we can all work on quality and remember that we do have a ton, I'm not saying all of Ashley Shaw's stuff that we've purchased is quality, but I do think that if you're only having to come up with one post really a day and potentially an IGTV, and I know that going live isn't something that most people enjoy a lot. Here is my suggestion, and I forgot how well this works when going live. I obviously go live on the daily. Come up with a book to follow. For example, a group of us are doing 30 Days to Shine, and it's so easy to go online and talk about 30 Days to Shine and day by day by day by day. It doesn't take brain power. You just get used to it. And the more you get used to it, the easier it will become. But it really is the best way for people to learn and know you and hear your voice and hear your struggles and you can't fake, there's no filters. No filters on Facebook. So, I mean, there are, but they're weird. And they know you're using a filter because there's like weird hearts on your face. So you can't really get away with, you're about as real as it gets. And I think that that's what is so relatable. So, even if you're not the queen of story or going live, it doesn't have to be 15 minutes. It could literally be 6 minutes a day, and you could come up with an easy topic. Maybe you make Tuesdays about, and you could just have like a little theme that you follow for the month or for the week or whatever. But I'm not on Wi-Fi. I promise you there's good things that come from going live. And so I just want to encourage you to keep trying. Don't you fail once. I can't remember who it was, but someone went live cooking and they're like, this is my first time, and it was like a disaster. And like all these things didn't work, and it was like, she was like, it was like the cooking show from hell. It was so bad. And I was like, yeah, but it made you relatable. Like it made you people, that's life. That's what happens, and I mean, there's lots of times the kids are going cuckoo or whatever, and it's your chance to have lots of patience with your children. It's actually a really good test to your willpower. Let me just tell you. Like today I had to run away because Hudson kept trying to come on there naked. And I was like, yeah, dude, this is how we get shut down. Can you get away from me? And why are you naked? Why are we naked? Anyway, so I highly suggest doing that. Okay, a couple other Instagram tips. Learn about when the best time to post is. Consistency is queen, content is king. Don't forget to use hashtags in your stories and hashtags in your posts. Here is another area I struggle and I'm not great at is I have like 10 hashtag groups, but they want relatable hashtags to that specific post. So if you're talking about food and your hashtag is all about like strong mama, they're not relating those. Instagram knows what you're doing and they don't want those. They want the hashtags that make the most sense. Again, it makes it a little bit more challenging because it's going to take the time. Now, if you sat with the Plan app, that PLAA or PLANN app, and you planned that one post a day, remember now, if you're only doing this one time, and you can run your hashtags through their system, and they're going to tell you if they're good ones to use. So yes, it might take one extra step, but if every day you sit down to do your power hour and you go to type up that one post that you're going to use and you get in your hashtags, it's going to be like 2 seconds. So don't overthink that. It really can be that simple, and imagine how much further your reach will be. So take the time. I know that's something that I'm going to start doing because I just throw it up there and I throw it up there. But now that I'm only doing one post a day, it has been actually really freeing, I will say, in the last 3 days. I only have 3 days of experience, but, and then you can use hashtags in your stories. You can use up to 10, hide them though. Like you can just make them really, 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 really small, stick them somewhere in a corner. No one has to know they're there. And then of course use your location, and change it up, as like if you live in a county or city that's big, like, and you've got, like, for example, for me, I have like El Cajon, Spring Valley, La Mesa, Grossmont, Fletcher Hills. Like I have so many just in my little like niche. Santee. Use all of the different hashtags locations, because women will look up like moms in, Santee, and then there you are, able to, and if you go somewhere, use the location. Good things come from that. So, last thing I did learn, if you're going to speak on your stories and you're going to talk, like you're going to say, you're going to do 4 in a row talking, blah, 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 blah. I'm hi, da, 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 da. You have to put some captions to it. You need to make people want to turn on the volume and listen to you, because the reality is everyone's is muted right out of the gate, and most people are working, or most people have children, and they're not just going to be on there like listening to you talk. So make sure you put some words underneath it, whether you're describing exactly what you're talking about, or you say some keywords, like just for example, someone called me a crackhead yesterday, and I said, and then they called me a crackhead. It's okay. Well, that's a different story for a different day. But that got people to listen to my story. Not that I was trying to get them to listen. It was just, this is really a poor example, but you get what I'm trying to say. When there's something, when something is like, oh wow, I wonder what's going on in her life today, I better turn the volume on. Now you're capturing their attention. Or, if you're typing about joining your thing, be like, and there's a free tank top involved for you. Put that in there so that people are like, oh, I want to know what she's talking about. So even though, again, it's an extra step, it's a step that's worth it. So we'd love to all think that our faces and our like mouthing words would be that exciting to turn volume up for, but the reality is it's just not. So and you can always put the sound on, the little gif that says sound on, if like you're listening to something specific or whatever. But anyway, those are my Instagram tips for you. We will be bringing you a tip a night every Tuesday, in hopes that you don't feel like you have to share, implement everything at one time, but here's a little something that we will go out and learn and then, help you figure out.
And here's just a little added layer on top of that. We had this idea of 1 tip a week, and I know we gave you lots of tips tonight to start with. And the reason is I haven't been good about implementing new things either for years. And I keep doing the same things, expecting better results, and it's not happening. So we want to create this accountability around what do we need to do better in Instagram and Facebook to expand our reach, to help more people, to do all the things. So don't be afraid to talk in the team page or in our different Voxer threads or wherever about what's working, what's not working, what did you learn? So when we give the tip every week, that's what we're going to be talking about in the team page about it. Like, who's doing this? Is it working? Did you remember? Because if you're like me, you'll go, oh, hashtags and stories, that's no big deal. I'll do it 1 time, and then 3 more months goes by and I've never done it again, So we're trying to fix that.
Yep. Letty, are you folding laundry? Do you see how well she's folding her laundry? Okay.
Yeah. My son taught me how to fold. It's crazy.
I mean, are you Marie Kondoing over there?
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
hold on.
Thought I
I
recommend.
mean, you guys want to see, look at how organized my son is. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Hey, that's gonna make a woman so happy someday.
I was gonna
He
say
is.
his wife is gonna be really happy.
Yeah, he's probably gonna unfold all these and refold it because I'm probably doing it wrong. But I'm listening. Go ahead.
It's very therapeutic watching you fold, even though I've never folded. I hate laundry more than anything in life. Well, any questions about any of that or anything else for that matter before we wrap up?
So Kim, are you just posting once a day on Facebook as well too?
I am going live. I do go live on Facebook. I actually haven't been posting to my personal page for probably a couple months. I don't really know what the reason was for it. I just stopped. I didn't feel like it was going anywhere, but maybe if I'm only posting once a day, maybe I could go back. I just feel like my fitness page is growing and it doesn't make sense. Like most of my followers or most of the friends from my Facebook page follow me on my, so they're going to see it double. And I just like, that's weird. So I am just doing twice. What I've been trying to do is doing engagement posts on my personal page. On my business page. Like yesterday I put up all those pictures of the houses and was like, which one would you pick? Like silly things like that just bring engagement, funny quotes or, whatever. But other than that, no, nothing quality, no quality posts, just silly posts basically. Yeah, babe. What? What do you mean? Did you guys want to go?
Any other questions before we wrap it up tonight?
Carter's already asleep.
Well, I appreciate you all hopping on as usual, and I hope you all have the best Tuesday night.
Bye.
Sleep well. I guess it's
Thank
best
you.
way to say.
Thanks, lady.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.